Previously on Masks and Martyrs.
So, here we are, in the belly of the beast.
The nature of the resistance sets you up in isolated cells as each of you receives orders from one of three resistance commanders. In this case, only knowing their call signs of Shroud, Spark, and Slain.
Here I thought you believed in the cause.
Time to do the good work, people! I just got some pretty interesting intelligence from on high. Spark sent it down.
I suppose if you had to call me anything, you could call me Spark.
The broken shield turned to blade, could not save, now it slays.
So, here you are, dressed like them, walking with them, on the arm of their fucking champion. I dare say you've gone local, Hammer.
What are you all doing here? What are you planning to do?
What do we ever really plan, Reagan?
Let's go be bad guys.
I think I'm more in the butcher's line of work these days.
Horus.
Yeah, watching the guard on the magistrate.
From your blind spot, you just hear Acton say, Horus, I know you're mad right now, but don't do anything stupid.
They're the cause of all this.
I know.
The point of a butcher is to salvage every piece of meat they can.
Rhea is, barely conscious, but gets a hold of Laura. Hey.
Hi.
If I pass out, could you just tell them I'm sorry?
Whatever happened to the Hammer? You hated them as much, if not more, than any of us.
He's dead and I don't have a scratch on me.
She walks up, and he just taps your breastplate, and he says, scratches.
The fuck are we supposed to do now?
He just puts a hand on it. He just puts a hand on your shoulder and hugs you.
Reagan just bursts into sobs.
There are people in this city worth protecting.
You really believe that, don't you? Hammer, Hammer, Hammer. I guess it's not really your name anymore, though. I guess you've given up your claim to our cause. That's alright. You're gonna want to stay out of our way. Otherwise, no telling where your little friends will end up.
If you walk away from me right now, I can't guarantee what's going to happen.
Ditto, kiddo.
Reagan, you're the first one to notice the mask. That agonized, weeping mask. And then you notice the second one. And then the third one. And as you watch, you realize that the servants, in order to serve dinner, have all donned these horrible, weeping masks. As they all come into the ballroom in perfect synchronization, the servants number easily over 100. More than enough for a few errant bodies to be lost in the crush. More than enough for a breeze, a bore, a quick, a shimmer, and a mourner. Kindling for a single spark comes south.
When last we met, the party was attending the Von Teppler Masquerade, the first of the season. Things had been relatively tense, some flare-ups, Monty's duel, Reagan's meeting with the Von Tepplers, the first dance. However, things on the whole seem to be moving in a positive direction. When Reagan was contacted by a figure from her past, Upon going to confront that figure, however, she met someone else, similarly from her past, but less directly so. An individual who went by the name of Spark. Spark informed Reagan that they and other elements were here for revenge. What that plan exactly is, they were vague towards. However, they made it very clear to Reagan that should she interfere, there would be consequences. And then they left her with a mind full of questions. Reagan then pulled the party together, including Rufus, Kahlo, and Julius, and began to lay out the situation. As she did, it sort of dawned on the party that whoever and how many of these people there are and were, they are all wearing the weeping masks of the servants. And currently, there are over 100 servants milling around with these nobles. So, as you stand here in your huddle, knowing that some weight of violence is about to fall upon the Masquerade, what do you do?
Okay. Reagan's gonna, turn to get the dramatic moment from last session out of the way, see all of the masks and stuff, and then, because Julius, the last thing that he asked was, how do we know them, how many are there?
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna turn back to the party. Assume everybody wearing a servant's getup is one of them. There could be as many as 200, 300 people from my... It's a lot. Please try not to kill them.
That's a lot to ask.
If they're not going to hurt you... I know, I can't.
Only in self-defense.
I won't make any demands of you guys. You know what you're good people, you know what the right things to do are. But we have to move now.
Rufus and Julius, at that, they kind of look at each other, a little unsure, and then Kahlo says, "No, I am a bird."
Kahlo, you're our rock. We have to, and we have to warn... Son of a bitch. And Reagan looks at Monty. I need you to warn Elaine von Teppler of what's about to happen. Only Elaine and Lynn.
Why only Elaine?
You can't... Erwin can't... If he finds out, he'll kill all of... He will kill everyone. He will kill the servants. He will kill all of them. I can't have that on me. That...
Reagan, as you finish that sentence, you hear a voice that says, "Come on now, Reagan. What did I just say?"
Well, Reagan's having a panic attack. She's kind of just, whipping her head around, looking for the source. And I'm assuming she doesn't see
Make a perception check.
Sure.
See if you can notice anything in this sort of scrum of people.
No. 7, so no.
Okay. The voice says, "I gave you one condition, Reagan Kayam. Just one. Don't get in our way." And here you are, calling a little huddle of the movers and shakers, going to warn Elaine von Teppler. Let's play a game, Reagan. I'm sure you played all sorts with the old bull growing up.
You keep my father's name out of your goddamn mouth. And she says that at full volume.
Mm-hmm. A few people kind of look over and just assume that you're talking to Lord Goring or something, and just kind of move away a bit.
Sure, pin it on Julius.
He has a reputation. And the voice kind of chuckles a bit and it says, No, I think I'll be using that for a while now. Here's what we're gonna do, Reagan.
Reagan is looking for Ellie, by the way.
You broke one rule that I had. I laid it out to you pretty clear, a courtesy for favors done. But we can't have this happen, can we? So you're gonna give me a name, Reagan. One of those 5 you pulled into your little clutch. They're gonna die tonight, Reagan Kayam.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, well, here's the thing. You don't give me one of their names. Maybe
maybe that girl you keep looking for finds an arrow in her throat. After all, Mourner doesn't miss, Reagan.
Mine.
That's not the game. I said one of those 5. That's the trick with Kayams, Reagan. Kayams always say themselves, give me a name, or the girl bites it.
Can we hear Reagan speaking?
Yeah, you hear her, but so far she's just like, keep it 5 minutes out of your goddamn mouth, and
then mine.
Can I roll to see if Ellie is in view?
Yeah.
Fuck. 6.
You actually see Ellie. She's currently seated over at the goring table. But Spark's voice comes over and he says,
Tick-tock, Reagan Kayam.
She's going to turn back to the group, because she has been facing away from them looking for Ellie, and just say, I have to get to my sister, and bolt.
Okay. Reagan, give me an athletics check.
That's a 20. Not nat.
Sure. Monty and Brika, Reagan just bolts.
That's bad.
And I think, especially here, normally you would expect her to just kind of move through people. Like she would almost relish taking the moments to sort of scuff into a noble or bump one of them or, knock into them. Reagan here moves, there is no wasted movement to her run. She does not run through people. She moves in between them at an exceptional speed, because to try and run through and move entire people would slow her down more.
This is Battlefield Reagan.
Yeah. This is objective Reagan.
How far away are the Von Tepplers? Can I see them?
The Von Tepplers, they are maybe 90 feet away from you.
Shit.
Julius he's just kind of he's scanning around, trying to see anything that he can find some kind of information. Swears under his breath and he says, "All right, we need to move now.
We need to move." Can I use the wand that the name of which you forgot to expend action dice to get some spell slots back? I mean, hit dice. It says as an action.
Yeah. If I specified it, then yeah, you could do that.
Okay, so I'm going to expend 4 hit dice and get back 1 third level spell and one first level spell.
So Monty's taking his action. Brika, what are you doing in this sort of moment of motion?
Monty, are you telling the Von Tepplers or what?
I'm gonna tell the Von Tepplers, but that's my next move is to sprint over there, but I 6 seconds at a time.
Yeah, so Brika, what you got?
Brika is going to,
How far could she move with dash?
70 feet.
Can I use Ring of the Lost Sun to apply Misty Step to Brika, in addition to her dash and her movement?
All right. Now we're using some items.
Because that would get her all the way over there.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay. So Brika is going to look between Julius and Monty. Look Monty square in the eyes.
Go! I've got you.
Okay. And Brika's gonna go. She is heading to the Von Teppler table.
So as she hits the point where she's going to have expended her movement, Monty casts Misty Step on her using the Ring of the Lost Sun, which allows me to confer a self spell onto another person.
Yes.
Within 30 feet. Within 30 feet before she gets 30 feet away.
Okay. A few things happen. Brika, are you teleport? There is spells are not subtle. That's not really what they do. They are flashy. They draw attention. And so at the sight of a figure seemingly teleporting towards the table of the Archduke and then sprinting forward, there are a few voices that are sort of quicker to respond, raised in shouts, and then there is movement at the table, and from sort of the wings of the room. Brika, as you are sort of bolting up, there are maybe 4 guards who are coming up to block your path. So they seem to have been stationed around sort of within easy reach of the table, in case something were to happen, as it did at the last masquerade. They are very quickly upon you. Can you roll me an acrobatics check with disadvantage as they attempt to grapple you? Because there are a lot of them.
So 16.
16 plus 11. 27.
Okay, so fuck the guards.
So, you just start, slipping and sliding through them, just darting past them as they try and grapple you. As this happens, Reagan, you reach over to the goring table, and as you're drawing closer, you hear that chuckle, and it says, "So, looks like it's gonna be her." Brika.
Yes.
You manage to just dart past the guards, and you see a very there aren't a lot of people at the table right now. It seems like they've been sort of breaking out to go make the rounds. You do, however, see there is Bartholomew Huron, the magician in residence, that's sort of hard-bitten mage, and there is Elaine von Teppler there. And they both sort of look at you, and Bartholomew just springs into action as soon as you get there. He raises up his hand, he speaks a word of power, and he clenches his hand into a fist. I believe this is a wisdom saving throw for hold person.
That is a 19.
Plus 3. 22.
22. Get fucked Bartholomew. Okay, Brika is going to call out to Elaine.
Okay. What do you say?
Elaine!
That's it? Just Elaine?
Yo,
I just...
Elaine, what's up, my good lady?
So she knows I'm trying to fucking talk to her.
Okay.
Hail and well met.
Sure. Make me a, give me just a charisma check. Just base charisma check. See if you're able to, whether or not you're able to just kind of impart upon her what you're trying to.
I got a 4, so...
Nope.
So, no.
Okay. She looks at you just kind of sort of concerned at what's happening, but Bartholomew is just he's going to kind of shepherd her back, and he is going to take up a stance in front of her, and you hear the footsteps of more guards coming towards you.
I need to tell you something. Doing hands over the mouth, fake whisper yelling,
yeah.
This is extremely important.
Bartholomew kind of raises his raises his hand again as if to cast another spell. But Elaine, let's see. Elaine is going to kind of put a hand on his shoulder, and she is going to just for a moment, you can see that there's some question on her face, but then that melts away into just this very, very wide smile, and she says, "Ah, Miss Cha, always so dramatic. Please, come with me." She sort of beckons for you to follow.
Yeah, okay, fine. Wouldn't say I'm dramatic, but fine.
Well, this is what we call a lie.
Brika just said that's more of Reagan's thing, pouting very, very intensely. I just want you all to know it was a very cute moment. That's all.
Reagan, you at this point, as sort of Elaine kind of lead Brika away from the eyes of everyone in the masquerade. Reagan, you manage to get to the goring table, and Ellie is there.
She tackles her to the ground. That's the next thing that's going to happen. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Okay. Give me an athletics check for a grapple. She's gonna roll against it, and we're gonna see what if people notice that.
What, are you saying that my baby sister doesn't trust if her big sister is grappling her? There's not a good reason? 26.
I think...
I'd like to see Ellie try to beat that.
Well, she got a 12.
So no.
So she looks up at you, and she sort of opens her mouth to say something, and then you just slam her to the ground. Reagan, can you give me a perception check as that happens?
16.
Okay. You see up on sort of as I described earlier, there are 5 levels here.
Reagan is covering her vital points in this grapple, or attempting to, also,
right.
by the way.
You see, like, on, like, the top level, you see the very top of a familiar-looking bow.
Okay.
Ellie is just sort of sputtering underneath you, and she says, What are you doing?
Don't move.
Why
Ellie,
not?
please. Don't. I'll tell. There's no time.
What?
Don't.
No.
Someone is going to kill you if you move. Don't move.
Give me a persuasion check, Reagan. Actually, if you want, this can be an intimidation because
it was a 20. So.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Sure.
She is not trying to intimidate her sister. She's pleading with her sister.
Sure. She doesn't respond for a moment, and then she just says, Reagan, tell me what's going on now.
The resistance is here. They're going to kill people. They're going to kill you because I tried to stop them. Don't move.
Ellie does not move. She sort of, her mouth kind of opens and closes a couple times as if like she's trying to kind of figure out what to say to that. Monty.
Me.
You just saw Reagan sprint off. You got Brig over there, and what looked like it could have been a rather tricky situation. Seems like it is being resolved. What are you doing in this moment?
Shit. Is Lynn with the Von Tepplers?
You don't see Lynn over there.
Shit.
As I said, the only two people at that table were Bartholomew and Elaine.
Can I perception check to see if I can find Lynn?
Yeah.
Shit! I don't know. That's with my bonus, that's an 8.
You don't see her.
Shit. Turning around to the others near me. Has anybody seen Lynn?
Kahlo is just kind of staring off into the middle distance, it looks like. Like you're not really sure what. Rufus kind of shakes it and he says, no, look, I gotta... Shit, this is so...
You do what you gotta do.
Okay. He's gonna start moving.
Okay.
Not over towards Reagan and not towards the Von Tepplers. Julius, he, was surprised at sort of how immediate Reagan's movement was. He's, going over there to the table as well to make sure that Ellie is okay.
Okay. So that leaves me with Kahlo.
Yes. He's just kind of staring off from the nose distance, and he says, Montague, how fast can you run?
Not very.
He picks you up. And he begins just sprinting.
Shit!
He is going to use Step of the Wind.
The fastest bird!
Monty, you've never, even when you're flying, you've never moved this fast.
I'm sure.
Who wants to see Monty throw up?
I'm just imagining Kahlo's feet look like the Sonic the Hedgehog blur effect.
Okay, yeah. And he is, and what strikes you is that, Kahlo has never been he's never been a subtle bird. You have noticed that about Kahlo?
Really?
He's not a subtle bird.
Huh.
However, he is moving deathly quiet currently.
Nice.
He is weaving into people, even, carrying you. I do think that he's carrying you like one would carry someone over the threshold of a newly completed home.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You are Kahlo's bride now.
I am.
Your book glows, and I am not allowed to have it, so I must have you.
Somewhere Lynn Von Teppler is cursing.
Damn birds! Always stealing my man.
Bird dogging my man.
A bird stole my boyfriend.
A bird stole my boyfriend. Kahlo is just he is bolting, and he gets over to the side where sort of the servants' quarters, and he says, so, what is happening right now?
Some old allies of Reagan's are going to basically try and kill everybody in this room. Revenge.
That does not
We
seem.
gotta stop that.
Doesn't seem like what an ally would do.
No, old allies. Used to be. Not anymore.
Ah, then I know that very well.
Yes. But she doesn't want to kill them because she feels guilty, I think.
He kind of thinks about that for a moment. Like, does not want to kill them. Is friends. And he goes, I see. I think.
Okay.
Everyone was very tense.
If you have to engage them, try and put them down non-lethally. That's all I'm saying. I have no dog in this fight. I'd rather get everybody out alive. That is important to us. But Reagan's never going to forgive me if I don't try.
Kalo is going to put a feathered hand on your shoulder, and he says, "That is good then. It is important to try."
That's all I've got.
Well, you have more than that.
But you haven't seen Lynn, though.
He sort of thinks for a moment, and he says, "Lynn. I remember Lynn. She is the little one with much hair."
Yes.
"Yes. I believe she is..." His eyes kind of like point up as he's like thinking to himself. He says, "I believe I saw her on the veranda last."
Veranda?
"Yes."
Okay. That's not good, but that's not bad. Thank you. I'm gonna go over there now. Kalo,
Yes?
you're super, super, super fast.
"Yes, I know."
Can you take me to where you last saw Lynn?
He sort of thinks a moment. He says, "I think I can do that."
Okay, thank you. Please do.
And he begins taking you sort of through the servants' quarters over. Reagan. Julius sort of arrives. He comes closer and he says, Reagan, this is not a solution. This is not a solution, Reagan.
Reagan, no. Reagan, please.
Reagan, is going to, look up from her spot on the floor or wherever they are. Probably the floor. Definitely the floor.
The floor.
And yeah, I guess she's just going to word vomit all of it out. They said because I betrayed them, they're going to kill, that I had to give them one of the names of one of you 5 that I gathered over there, or they would kill Ellie. And so I said no, and now they're going to kill Ellie. So now I'm here. What do we do? And she doesn't know what to do. She's just, yep. Where did everybody go?
He kind of takes it in for a second, and then he shakes his head and he says, Brika went to warn Elaine von Teppler, and, well, I think they may think she's trying to kill her. The bird picked up Monty. I don't know what that was about. And Rufus, he said he had to go take care of this. I don't know.
Alone?
His face kind of turns pale for me, and he says, "Oh dear, he is alone, isn't he?"
Julius, I need you to protect my sister.
He locks eyes with Ellie, and he just says, "Of course."
No matter what.
He nods and he says, "Then promise me something."
Anything.
"Come back alive."
I'll do my best. And she's going to, since she did see where Kinsey's bow was, without opening Ellie to attack, she is going to kind of get off of her and push her towards Julius.
Sure.
Which way did Rufus go?
He points over towards some of the stairs up, and he says over there. I'm not entirely sure where I'm not entirely sure where he ended up.
It's fine. I'll find him. Ellie. And Reagan is going to hug Ellie real quick, like real tight. Stay safe. I love you. Okay, now she's off.
Before you manage to pull away, you can just feel her like holding onto the fabric of your dress, and you can feel her hands just shaking. And she says, "I don't want to lose you again."
I'll be fine, I promise.
Julius, he is going to sort of reach over to you, and he's going to tap you on the shoulder, and he says, "Don't break it."
Reagan nods. Does Reagan still have the bead that Julius gave her, by the way?
Unless you ate it.
Nope. I mean, maybe, but probably not.
I don't think there was enough time for Reagan to eat it in between, like, the dramatic parts.
And she nods, and she says, "Stay safe, both of you." And she's going to kind of cock her head towards where she saw Kinsey's bow. Archers are up there. They don't miss. Stay out of sight.
Sure. Okay. Reagan, as you begin to pull away, Spark's voice once more pricks into your ear.
Oh, Reagan. You really think that broken little man is gonna stop me? You think anything stops me anymore?
Reagan is going to leave. She's ignoring him. Spark.
Okay. Brika, Elaine has led you into one of like the little alcoves. No one can see. She's then going to grab you and slam you into a wall, and she's going to say, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
There's a bacteria. Yeesh, you people. They're fucking...
Us people? Do you know what happened to the last masquerade?
Yes, I know, and I'm trying to prevent it again.
Talk.
There are people here. They are from Gothrica Rebellion.
She sort of looks a little confused. There's been a rebellion in Gothric?
I don't know. They were from back when it was all in trouble. I don't know. But they're here, and they mean harm. I don't know who they're going after, but I assume it's all of you because you're fucking nobles.
You can see as soon as you start saying that, like, calculations being going off in her head, and she says, how do you know this?
How do
You
I
can tell.
because, well, Reagan knows who they are, so she found out. I don't really know what happened, but Reagan came up to us and said that so-and-so she knows is here and they mean everyone harm. I wish I had more information. I feel like I'm flying blind here.
Yes, well, that is what happens when you come up to someone and tell them that someone is trying to kill them, and everyone they know.
Presumably.
Presumably, I hate presumably. Alright,
Anyway, they're all in the fucking servant masks, so I don't know which ones are which, but the point is...
they've infiltrated the servants.
Yes.
Shit. Alright. Miss Cha, I do not want to do this, but consider yourself, for the time being, at this moment, a deputy of the Archduke.
Great. Just what I always wanted. What can I do?
Find them and tell me where they are, and I will go break them with a word.
Elaine, it's not... I don't know who these people are.
Then find
They could be
Reagan.
anyone. They could be any of those servants. I don't know which are people that you hired and which one are these people coming in here to try to kill you.
We don't...
Can you just end the masquerade? Tell everyone to get the fuck out.
There's a look of genuine consternation over her face. And she says, I can't.
Why?
Because. Do you know what happened? You know what happened at the last masquerade.
Sort of.
There was a very real chance that most of the landed nobility within the city would die. There was a very real chance of that. We've been trying to take great steps to prevent that. But if word gets out that the same thing is happening, it'll be madness. Have you ever seen people trample each other to death trying to save themselves?
So we give them another reason to leave.
Miss Shaw, I very much want to believe you, but whatever is happening here, it's not just a couple disaffected Gothricers trying to get some revenge. You know that, right?
Sure. Listen, there are lots of people who want to kill you. I understand.
No, Listen, I will alert the guards to begin to do what they can to move the servants out of here. I will try and begin the process of moving others out of here, but this is very delicate. If my husband learns whatever is going on, I'm not entirely sure what will happen to these people.
Yes, which is why I came to you, and not him. If I knew where Lynn was, I would have gone to her.
As soon as you say Lynn, her eyes just bug out. And she just goes, oh gods, Lynn. And then she disappears. There is a puff of smoke and a scent of brimstone, and she disappears.
Yeah.
Just typical.
Brika, as you're sort of sitting there for a moment in kind of just frustration at, the goddamn nobles is pulling this shit every goddamn time, you hear a voice that says, "Well, she didn't exactly pick you, but it seems that circumstances have led us here." And you see a figure step out from the adjacent room. They are wearing matte black armor and a weeping servant's mask. And as they step forward, a glaive just appears in their hand with a snap of their fingers. And they say, "Miss Shaw, I don't think we've been introduced. My name is Spark, and I'm going to kill you now."
Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Masks and Martyrs, where we're all really stressed out. So let's get through this housekeeping really fast. So first of all, if you're liking the show so far, follow us on Twitter. Our username is Masks and Martyrs. Also join our Discord server. The link is in the description. Leave us a review on iTunes if you're also stressed out about Brika. The music this week, it opens with Sarah Shope's Kindler's Gambit, which is awesome and I love it. The mid-roll is Kevin MacLeod's Dreamlike, and the ending theme's title is a spoiler, but it was by me. And then the song after that is also, the title is kind of a spoiler, but it's by Hopper and the Books on Tape, but recorded by me. I think that's everything I needed to go through. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Bye!
Monty, Kahlo is a very fast bird.
He's a very fast bird.
You've always known this, but he is very fast right now.
And yet...
Kahlo, blitzes out into the veranda, and you see there are still people out there. There's still a good amount of people. And you see what appears to be Lynn is speaking to Reinhardt. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I assume I get out of Kahlo's beautiful embrace.
Because you don't want Lynn to be jealous, of course.
Why would you want...
And you don't want Reinhardt to see you in a bridal carriage.
Everybody's already calling me twink this, twink that. What the fuck do I care at this point about appearances?
But his grip is so strong and sure,
Sure, yeah.
I feel so safe in his arms. Now I must go into the danger. Okay.
These are not arms. These are wings.
How many other people are around?
Total, there are maybe 13.
Are there any servants around?
Yeah, there are maybe 4 servants around.
How far are they away from Lynn and Reinhardt?
It looks like from Reinhardt, there's maybe one within 30 feet, sort of just walking around with a tray of drinks.
Okay, I'm gonna rush up to them, and in kind of to people looking at me, it looks very much like, oh, jealous boyfriend is back here to grump at Reinhardt for being near his girl, but. If they look me in the face, I have a completely different expression on than what they expect.
Sure. And since you're not making any effort to hide yourself, they're both just like, what? Like they will see you, and Lynn goes, Monty, what are you?
I'm sorry to interrupt. Monty drops his voice down very low, and kind of gestures at Reinhardt to lean in a little bit. Make it look like a threesome. Make it look like we're all friends here.
Lynn turns red.
There's a situation. There's a very bad situation. And these servants have been compromised. There are members of a rebellion here. And they mean to do as many people harm as I think they can. I've come to find both of you. I sent Brika after your mother, Lynn. I don't know what's happening with that. Reagan took off like a shot. I don't know what's happening with that. My goal is to get, at the very least, you out of here safe, Lynn.
Reinhardt, pretty much as soon as you finish talking, he looks like a little confused. He says, Montague, I haven't seen anything.
We hadn't either, but apparently they revealed themselves to Reagan. They're all wearing the servants' masks, the martyr masks.
Lynn opens mouth to say something, and then there is a puff of brimstone And Elaine just,
Hey, Mom!
appears in the middle of the three of you.
I feel like every time she did anything bad in her room, that happened, and Mom!
Oh God, that's terrible.
It's a just friends threesome, Mom. It's a just friends threesome. She's maybe like 2 feet off the ground, and she lands like a bit awkwardly, but she manages to catch
Monty
herself.
kind of like grabs her forearms to help her stabilize a little.
She has just this wild look in her eye until she sees Lynn, and then she goes, "Oh, thank the gods, you're all right. You're all right. Okay. We need to get you somewhere safe. We need to get you somewhere safe, Lynn."
That's what I'm working on, ma'am.
She like blinks over at you and like realizes that you're there. Just, Mr. Pensmith, Reinhardt at that point, he's kind of looking around me and he says, "This doesn't feel right at all. Why would they tell you this, Montague?"
I think they told Reagan, who used to be an ally of theirs in the past.
He just looks very just a little confused, and he says, "That makes no sense whatsoever."
I don't know, maybe they wanted to threaten her. I don't understand the situation, but I'm not going to just ignore it like, oh, maybe it's nothing. I'm going to take action.
At this point, Elaine's has put her hand on Lynn's arm and is trying to lead her away. And Lynn is going to take the hand off, and she's going to say, I'm not just going to keep running away from every little threat in my life. She turns to you specifically, Monty, and she says, "I'm not going to wait for you to save me every time. That's not..."
I'm making you aware of the situation so we can figure out what we want to do. I am inclined to run at the drop of a hat, but I will defer to you.
This is a side of Lynn that I don't think you've ever really seen before. Lynn has always been someone who's been characterized by, a lot of nerves, but there's always been some degree of resolve. From whatever she had dealt with in the past, there's always been a resolve to her because of that. But you've never seen her with just this much, with this much certainty. And she says, "The last time someone came into my home to kill me, I ran away. I'm not doing it again."
Okay.
Reinhardt he's just looking very, confused. Which is weird, because you never really got the vibe from him. It's like, oh, this is a guy who's, very easily, thrown for a loop. As he says, we need to take action.
Yes.
Not against... Not whatever it is they want. They won't stop. We need to strike against them first. It's the only way. Elaine she just looks visibly angry at the whole situation.
That's fair.
I mean, that's fair.
She just says, "Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you out of here, Lynn. We are going to get you out of here. We're going to get your brother out of here, and then your father and I will deal with this."
Ma'am, with all due respect, don't you think that we can help you deal with it?
Mr. Pensmith, whatever it is you want to do, that is perfectly fine, but I am not going to leave Lynn here in the midst of...
I say we as in Lynn and my friends and I. And Reinhardt as well.
She says, "Monty, until an hour and a half ago, one of your friends was dead set on putting a knife in my throat."
I was working on that, I'm sorry.
It's not an apology that I need. I just need you to understand that this is a lot. Especially from someone who, as I said, until very recently, wanted me dead, and my husband dead. And now, suddenly, there are more figures from her past who want me and my husband dead. You understand why this is... You're smart. You understand this.
Oh, of course. I am perfectly aware of the situation, ma'am. From both your standpoint and Lynn's and Reagan's. And I am trying to marry all of those expectations into a ideal solution.
Lynn blushes at marriage talk.
God damn it, Lynn. I love her. I love her so much.
I'm gonna marry your daughter, ma'am. I mean, shit.
I am talking about political and battle-related unions right now, god damn it.
Elaine... Actually, roll me a persuasion check, Monty. Roll me a persuasion check here.
Persuasion. Get to use. Hey! Math is hard. What's 15 plus 6?
21. Yeah. Elaine sort of opens her mouth and closes it once, twice, and then she just says, fine.
I'm
Fine.
sorry to stand up to my future mother-in-law, but...
Hey, if you don't start now, you'll never get there. She says, fine, just promise me if... Never mind. At this point, she says, alright, I need all of you to move away from anyone in a mask. Get over to the tables, stay at the tables. If you move from the tables, you can be isolated. If you're alone, you can be isolated. Stay where there are people.
I understand.
All right?
I understand. Yes, ma'am.
She then she scans the veranda and she says, I'm going to go start giving orders.
Okay.
Stay safe, all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
And then she is going to blink away.
Okay.
At that, Reinhardt is going to say, Montague, where did you say your friends were?
Yeah, Reagan moved off to the goring table. I should have asked Lady Von Teppler where she took Brika to, but I'm not sure. I saw them go off to the servants' quarters. Like, I wasn't really paying attention, so, like, I don't know exactly where they went.
The gears are just turning in Reinhardt's head. And then he just says, shit. Before we get to Brika's Wet and Wild water park fun time...
It's fine, she's fine.
What is Reagan doing right now?
So Julius gave her a direction that Rufus went off in.
Yeah.
She is trying very hard to get any kind of, like, visual confirmation on what do I know about the direction that Julius pointed in? Like, from the night so far, is there any... Have we been even vaguely that way before? What is over there?
That's where nobles go and they get to Necken. It's a staircase up.
It's not the staircase up that she went to go talk to Spark at.
No, it's not the exact one, but it is. They all kind of lead up to the same levels, if that makes sense. So that's let's place on was there. So just give me a general direction of where Reagan's going, so I can integrate that into the danger that Brika is in right now.
Is there anything over there other than the stairs going up?
From what you could tell, there were the stairs, and there were the servants' passages.
Fuck.
Where's she going?
I assume that she does not see any hide nor hair of where Rufus went.
No.
Okay. Stairs.
Okay. So, Monty's on the veranda, raising up the stairs, and Brika, you are staring down a figure with at a glance, it is an ornate metal glaive with ice blue steel on the tip of it. And just that kind of crackly voice comes out from it that says,
I just want you to know this is nothing personal. Just a promise I made.
Okay, first off, at Spark's threat that they're gonna kill her, Brika rolls her eyes.
Damn, Brika! Damn!
Brika rolls her eyes. She says, I do not have time or patience for this bullshit. And she throws one of her playing cards as a dagger.
Okay.
And do you want me to roll to see if that hits first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see if that hits.
27.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Good. So 7.
So 7. And
7.
After she throws the card, she's going to dash.
Okay. Brika, as you dash, the glaive whips out towards you.
Yeah, attack of opportunity.
And glaives have reach on them.
Brika's intent is to dash back into the ballroom proper.
Yeah, sure, totally. That makes sense.
You can sponge one attack. You got this.
Oh, geez. So that is a 30 to hit. And since they have the Sentinel feat, if they hit you with an attack of opportunity, your movement stops.
What?
You do not move. Like, your movement ends for that turn. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's, it's just Brika. No one cares about Brika.
You take 13 points of slashing damage.
Ay.
And that voice kind of crackles out. So, got some teeth on you, huh?
Yes, several.
Brika, can you roll initiative for me? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
22.
22.
They got a natural 20.
Nah.
Oh, man. This is such a scary fight. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're going first.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to make 3 attacks on you.
Okay.
The first one is a 17.
That hits.
Second one is a 26.
Yeah, that hits.
The third one is a 24.
Yeah, that hits.
How many times is she allowed to use Uncanny Dodge?
Once. So the first hit is for 8 points of damage.
Okay.
The second one is for 9 damage. The last one is for 13 damage.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, dodge the last one.
Okay, so you took 8, 9 is 17, and then plus halved is 20. You take 25 total points of damage.
Okay.
Just so they swing 3 times, vroom, 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 and you're very quick, Brika. You've always been very fast, and yet somehow this person is quicker. And 3 scouring slashes along your right arm and each of your thighs are left before they return to their stance, and you can feel the blood begin to drip out of it. And they say, come on now. The little bull wasn't able to find anyone tougher than you. And that is their turn.
Okay.
How far did they get away from the ballroom?
Maybe 10 feet. The little room you're in, they're sort of like ensconced into the walls. It's pretty loud outside between the band and the people talking, and so no one seems to have heard like sort of the initial like exchanges.
You're going to die next turn, so the only chance that Brika has is to run and not get hit.
Mm-hmm. That's my best course of action.
That's all we got.
Okay.
This is a very dangerous enemy who is probably best confronted not one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I try to attack now, it's not going to do any good, and I could try to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess I will try to run.
Try to dash.
Try to dash.
Oh, man. So that's a 3? So it does 15 hit?
No! Brika, run!
Okay. All right.
Back to Bartholomew!
Yeah.
So Brika runs.
Brika fucking runs, leaving a trail of blood in her wake.
It does look metal as hell.
This is some Haku through the bathhouse shit.
As the glaive comes down, you manage to. So I think part of being a rogue is and especially like your kind of rogue is being insightful in the right moments, and so you're able to identify like ticks and stuff within people. And so I think as the glaive comes down, from the 4 times you've been slashed so far, you notice that there's a slight moment where they slide their hands, they slide their dominant hand, their right hand, ever so slightly back to to begin drawing it back, even as they're slicing. It leaves more shallow wounds, but that way they can ensure that their glaive isn't gonna get locked up with an enemy. And so I think you use that moment and that little habit, which may not even be like it's not even really like a conscious thing. It's something that they've done from years of repetitive training. And as it comes down, you sort of drop into a crouch rather than trying to like duck completely out of the way. It comes down, and as they're bringing it back in your towards themselves in your crouch, you then push yourself back, sort of like skidding along the ground sort of like once, twice, turn onto your feet, and then bolt out. As you're going, you hear from seemingly no direction that voice that says, "Well, the night is young." And then you are back with the people.
Wait, can I respond though when they're?
You can respond to message.
Okay. Yeah. So as Brika is dashing, she does respond. It's more of a mutter than like a direct statement, but something along the lines of, "Stupid fucking people come to noble house to kill nobles and then they attack me. What am I supposed to do? I'm fucking kobold. Classism!"
Is chugging a healing potion an action?
I go by Mercer rules. So I make it a bonus action to chug, and it is a action to give it to someone else.
Okay, can she take one of her healing potions?
Can I?
Yeah, for sure.
Slam that.
Cool.
Slam jam.
Fuck. Well, she got 4 HP back.
Hey, there we go. Yeah. So Brika, you just kind of are running forward. As you do, you see Monty, Lynn, and the limping, sort of stumbling Reinhardt. You all see just cut up, bloody Brika, looking rough.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Brika doesn't usually take damage.
Normally, Brika's just fucking shit up and not even caring.
Lynn has healing word.
She does. Lynn actually, upon seeing Brika just slashed up, she is going to run forward and she is going to cast Healing Word. Where are my D4s? Sorry, I'm a mess and I'm really stressed by this whole situation right now.
Oh, you're stressed.
Look, I am allowed to be stressed.
I think Andrew's the most stressed.
No, I know. I'm just going to yell at him until it's over. It's just this is all we have is yelling at each other.
I deserve this. I deserve this. Well, regardless, you cast Healing Word on you, and you regain 7 hit points.
Woo! We're getting there.
All right.
Now, Monty, press
all
the
right.
to get all the blood off.
Back in it. Healed up. Go back in it. Round two, motherfucker. Yeah. So, Monty and Brika, you two are back together. What do you? Do you say anything? Do you just kind of stare at each other?
What the fuck happened?
And you have a beefy boy. Okay.
And
a beefy boy with all of 17 HP.
I don't give a shit. He's expendable. He's not Brika Cha.
Fuck.
All right.
Sorry,
No.
bruh. You don't matter, apparent.
No.
Sorry, Andrew.
Not as much as Brika
Listen,
Cha.
Reinhardt is very interesting, and we'd all like to get to know him better. But
Brika Cha.
If it comes, no, I understand if it comes down to it.
Yeah, if it
comes down
to it. Sorry, he's lowest on the list. Of
Andrew,
priorities.
Andrew, you've created the mustache in the Dragon Age Inquisition, how to kill a mustache.
And by the way, his name is Stroud. Okay, I didn't forget you, Stroud.
What's going on?
Anyway, Brika will. Okay, first off,
Cough up blood.
no. Why would she cough up blood?
Because that's what Reagan would have done.
That's what Reagan would do. It is what Reagan would do.
No, most of her blood is still inside of her. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you, Lynn. Okay. Well, that was rough.
Yeah? Who attacked you?
Hey, Reagan's friend, person who keeps the talking in her head. Yeah. What a bitch.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah. He's got one of those long pointy things. Glaive. It's a glaive. They've got the glaive. And they're extremely dangerous. So, I would avoid that. Would not recommend. No stars. Absolutely terrible. This is my Yelp review of the Masquerade. Oi. Okay. You guys are okay, though?
I mean, for now.
Good.
We ran into Elaine.
Uh-huh.
Lady Von Teppler.
Yeah.
And she told us to stay near the tables and stay in the center of the room, and she's going to start making orders.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
At that, Reinhardt is going to say, Montague, where's your other friend?
Can we see Reagan from here?
Oh, no. Some would say not at all.
We're in the main hall?
Yes, you are in the main ballroom.
Can I see Julius and Ellie at the goring table?
Make a perception check.
Is Kahlo with Monty?
No, Monty did not tell him to come.
Okay, so Kahlo just wandered off.
Kahlo's just like out on the veranda.
Enjoying the fresh air. Yeah, anyway.
Looking at the stars.
What was that? A perception check?
Yeah, perception check for Brika.
Did you know that crows have funerals?
Yeah, I know. You have to
listen to
understand.
Theology's podcast?
Brika got a 23.
No, I've just been planning out character deaths for a while now.
No!
The event of shit going bad.
No, bad Andrew! She got a 23! Where's Julius?
And Ellie.
Julius and Ellie are over at the goring table.
Sorry, I got emotional.
I know, and it's fine. They are over at the goring table.
They're at their table, where they're supposed to be.
Yes. Reagan is not.
Okay.
But Julius knows where Reagan is.
That I expected. I just wanted to make sure that Julius and Ellie were in view.
Let's move in that direction. Appearances be damned. Is that okay, Lynn?
Lynn... There's a moment where it looks like she's like about to say that she'll just stay, and instead she just nods and says, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, I'd rather keep her with me.
So y'all going to the Gorni's table. Let's check in with Reagan. Reagan, you're going upstairs.
Reagan's going upstairs because the logic is that maybe he saw where she was earlier and is going that way to try to confront Spark, who is not there, but Reagan doesn't know that.
So you're just going up the stairs.
She's going up the stairs, trying to keeping an eye out for him, but she is headed in the direction of where she confronted Spark.
Reagan, you get up to the third floor, and you sort of get up and you see the stairs ahead of you. You're halfway there when you hear the sound behind you. You have heard this a number of times. You are very familiar with the sound of the halberd, which Darmio carries around. It whistles towards you, but it slams into the ground right at your heels. No rolls made there. You just hear the angry breathing of Darmio Crawl, who just says, "Fucking traitor!" And then from behind him, you hear Rhea's voice again, which says, "Well, we always knew she was a little soft, didn't we, Darmio?" And they are both there. Darmio with his halberd, and Rhea with just these little sort of sparks of lightning dancing down her fingers.
Okay. So Reagan turns to them, and she's going to talk first. While she's talking, she is attempting to put her hand in her pocket. But
okay.
I didn't want to do this. I'm not here to betray any... Rhea, I tried to talk to you. I told you to stay where you were so we could talk, so this wouldn't fucking happen.
Can you give me a sleight of hand check?
Yeah. That's an 11.
As your hand sort of is getting very close, there is just this kind of not like a full-on like lightning bolt, but there is like there's sort of like a little spark of lightning which just like pricks your fingers and you sort of jerk them back just reflexively. And she says, Reagan, we're not playing that game today. We're not playing we're all gonna make nice at the end of this game. You ran away, Reagan, and here we are now. Come to do the good work, and well, here you are, having yourself a nice little life. Must be nice. But you and me, well, we were never really much for talking things out, huh?
I deserve all of that. But I can't let you hurt my friends. And I'm sorry I left. I came here to do the exact same thing you're doing, and I failed, and... Spark was going to kill my sister. What do you want me to do? My sister is alive, Rhea. What was I fucking supposed to do?
Can you give me a persuasion check?
Sure.
With advantage.
Good, because that wasn't great. 14.
As you say that about your sister, her eyes kind of widen a bit, and then they narrow, and she says, "Well, we'll be sure to tell her where you're buried." Reagan, can you roll initiative for me?
16.
16. Rhea got not a 16. She got an 8.
Ha.
And I do. You know, when you've gotten stronger since you've left, I do think that with your know your enemy sort of just like passively, I do think that you can sort of get sort of the impression that, like, they're roughly the same, because they're roughly like this on the same level as you. And so just kind of like repaint scene. Currently they are blocking the way down, and the other like ways out of this little alcove you're in. Behind you are the stairs up. Darmio is in front of Rhea, sort of blocking off, and she is in the back as lightning begins to crackle around her hands. Reagan, you are going first. What do you do?
How many feet away are they?
It's not too big, so I would say that Darmio is maybe like 8 feet away. Rhea is maybe 5 feet behind him.
Okay. Reagan puts her hand on the hilt of her sword, and she doesn't draw it yet, unless that means that I would be at a disadvantage next turn. But she channels the sword's howl, and I need a wisdom saving throw from both of them. DC is 15.
Sure. So first we'll roll for Darmio. Darmio got a 9, so he does
Nope.
not save. And Rhea got a 10, does not save. They are not very wise, these two.
They are stunned for 10 rounds.
If they get attacked, they do get to remake their save.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so they may
Yeah.
repeat it at the end of each turn or whenever they take damage. That is
Yeah, yeah.
I just didn't read very far. Hey, Andrew, is putting my hand in my pocket an action?
I'd say it's a bonus action.
Reagan is going to use part of her movement to walk over to the edge of the balcony thingy that they're standing on so she can be seen. Did Monty and Brika make it to the goring table?
Yes.
Okay, she's putting her hand in her pocket. She is gripping the bead. And she thinks, start. Darmio, Rhea, I don't want to hurt you. Don't make me do this. Please.
So Darmio is going to attempt to save at the end of his turn. He does not save. You can sort of see him like straining against it, just the veins beginning to bulge in his neck as he's trying to just muscle past it. Rhea does save, and she rips past the magic of the sword. And she says, "You should have run when you had the chance." And she is going to cast Chaos Bolt at you.
Is that a ranged spell attack or is it a saving throw?
This is a ranged spell attack. That's a 23.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
So you take 12 lightning damage as a bolt of crackling energy just shoots out and slams into you. You sort of like it just sort of catches you on the shoulder as you jerk back, and Rhea says, "Long live the queen." Down there, you all are talking, and then just Julius snaps his gaze up towards the balcony. His eyes widen, and he says, "Shit. Watch her." And Julius
Wait.
is going to dimension door up there.
Jesus.
That's my boy!
All right.
Yeah, let's send the incredibly... Oh man, poor Julius, he's so fucking shitty.
Yeah, what level is Julius?
It's not really a level issue, it's more of a 10 armor class issue. Reagan, Julius just appears beside you, and there's a strong scent of brimstone.
Reagan kind of just looks at him, and she looks like shit. Not physically, she's
Just-
fine. 12 damage is
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. He kind of looks at you, looks over at them, and he just goes, "They're the ones."
They're my friends, please don't kill them.
He is going to reach under his garments, and you hear just the breaking of something as he rips the chain under his skin free. There is a bit of blood as he drops to the ground, and he says, "Yes, and you're one of mine." Reagan, you're up.
Reagan's turn. Okay, Rhea, can I blanket say that Reagan is attempting to do all of this non-lethally?
Sure.
Okay, Reagan's going to attack Rhea.
Okay.
Oh no. How's a 12?
Rhea has 11 AC because she's a dumb sorcerer.
Hi, Rhea. Hey, sweetie. Hi, sweetheart. I didn't want to do this. You forced my goddamn hand. So 5 on the first one. And does she have an arcane focus? Like
yes,
her wand?
the wand carved of the wood of the callow tree.
And my superiority die is a D8. So I'm using disarming strike. So it's 2 more damage, but she also drops her wand.
Does she make a save against that, or just does it automatically drop?
Strength saving. So
okay.
Have fun with that, right?
She actually has a decent strength check, but she got it too, so it doesn't matter.
Yay! No more wand.
More wand.
Can Reagan put her foot on it as part of her?
Yeah, I think, yeah, sure.
She puts her foot on it, and actually she's going to kick it like behind her as far as she can.
Okay, sure. What else?
She's going to attack her again, because that's how she works. And that's a 13, which I know hits.
It does hit.
It's a 1 + 4, so it's 5 damage. Though it's a +1 longsword. Is that just for attack?
It's a +1 longsword for damage, so it's actually +7, because you also have your dueling.
Right, yeah, I was about to say, the dueling also. So that's how much damage she does. I wasn't keeping track.
Sure, I gotcha. So Reagan, you slam the flat of your blade into her forearm, and you can just hear like a slight crunch. She drops it as she cries out in pain. It falls to the ground. You put your boot onto the wand, kick it behind you, and as she sort of goes down to grab it, you just slam the hilt of your sword into the side of her head, just trying to put her down, trying to knock her out. She's just going to snarl in pain at that.
Rhea, leave. You know I can do more.
Darmio made his save, and he says, "So can I." It was at the end of his turn, though, so... Because that's how the thing works, so he doesn't have a turn. So, yeah. But he looks very angry.
That's fair.
Reagan... No, it's Rhea's turn. Julius did not get a high initiative.
Oh, okay.
He got a 5.
Oh, right.
And he
Rhea
has
still has a turn.
0 dexterity. Rhea is going to... as you, kicked her wand away, her eyes just turn wild, and she just slams her 2 hands together into sort of clasping the fingers almost like a prayer. She raises back her head, puts the hands over her mouth, and she just lets out this screech. And as she does, lightning just arcs out between you and Julius. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Julius does not save.
I don't either.
Okay.
Unless a 10 saves.
10 does not save. These are hard-bitten killers, Diana. You trained them yourself.
They're my friends.
Such friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Reagan was kind of slow to trust the party, because she's like, man, it's really weird that you guys aren't, constantly doing violence.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was a really good roll. You each take 38 points of lightning damage.
That's a lot of them.
It is. Julius is just kind of... He is
still
looking really bad. He just sort of, looks at sort of the smoking flesh on his chest, and he says, "Right, new plan." And he is going to attempt to banish them.
Okay.
Oh shit!
How's that work, my good dude?
Well, they each get to roll a charisma saving throw. You are banished for 1 minute if you fail your save. So Rhea succeeds, Darmio does not. So Darmio just sort of blinks. There's a shimmer, and Darmio blinks away, and Julius says, "Well, that was almost it." And he's going to then start backing up the upstairs, because there is still Rhea in between, who's just shown that she has a propensity for lightning, which hurt him a lot.
Fucking teleport back to us. I have greater healing potions.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to bring him back. I'm attacking Rhea.
Okay.
So another 12, that hits. So the first one does 11.
Okay.
So 24 probably hits still. 13 damage.
13? Okay.
How's she looking?
She's looking pretty rough.
Alright, but she's still up?
She is still up. By the way, what is the rest of the party doing? As essentially you've had one turn of what you're doing after Julius kind of just warped away.
Does the room seem to be paying any particular attention to us?
At the moment, not really.
There was also a recent scream from upstairs. Just fly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty loud.
Can I see Osiris from here?
Roll a perception check.
That's a 13.
You do not see her from here. You're not sure where she is exactly.
I was going to try and get her to help.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, she does not seem to be, easily within view.
Yeah.
What about you, Brika?
Brika's sticking to Ellie's side.
Yeah, Monty's kind of doesn't want to leave.
Want to take another healing potion?
Yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, while I'm here, I'll
just
take
chug
another.
that.
I'll take another healing potion since I got one.
So she gets 9 HP back. She's at 26 now, for the record.
Fantastic.
And I'm ready when you are.
What else you got?
So, add 5 to the damage I just did. Is Rhea still standing?
She is.
Okay.
She
I'm
looks
using
really
maneuvering
rough.
attack. That's where that 5 came from.
Okay.
This allows me to let an ally move up to half its speed without provoking any attacks of opportunity, but also on my turn.
Okay.
And Reagan is going to shout over her shoulder to Julius, "Back up!" And then she's going to action surge.
Okay. He moves up the stairs.
Okay, because she's trying to get him as far out of Rhea's range as possible. If she's gonna hit, she's probably gonna try to attack Reagan over Julius. So anyway, let's do this. Let's do the time warp again.
Sure.
Before I action surge, actually, I forgot I can take a healing potion as a bonus action.
Yeah.
So that's 3 plus 2. That's 5 HP back. That's something. And action surge. Okay, so the first attack hits. It's a 16. 12 damage on the first hit. Is Rhea still up?
You draw back for your third strike, and Rhea comes down, puts both her hands in front of her. You see lightning begin to crackle in front as if she's preparing something. So instead of trying to swing through it, you instead pivot, spin to one side, sit up with your back to her for a moment. As you move to her left, into her blind spot, as she turns, the last thing she sees is the hilt of your sword just smashing into her, and she goes down.
Okay. Can I get to Julius?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, she's gonna walk over to Julius, and she's gonna put a healing potion in his hand. Can she do that?
Okay, so you go up the stairs. She's half his movement to get him up the stairs. You go upstairs and you see Julius. His back is to you, and you see a masked figure with a familiar bow pointed directly at Julius. He's maybe 15 feet away from Julius.
Okay. Then Reagan is going to use the rest of her movement to get in between Kinsey and Julius.
Okay.
And I guess before she attacks, she's going to try to talk.
What do you say?
Kinsey, don't. They didn't give me a choice.
Make a persuasion check for me, with advantage.
13.
There is the most familiar moment that you know with Kinsey. Just quiet. And then you hear a single word choked out from behind the mask. Go.
Reagan nods and says, "Thank you." And she grabs Julius and leaves.
You are currently upstairs.
Yeah, she's gonna go back down, take him, away
Past
from
Rhea.
this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Reagan's basically just gonna go take Julius by the arm. Probably hand him a healing potion since now we're, not super busy. Because Darmio's still not here.
Yeah, he's not here for another 50 seconds.
And Kinsey's not hurting us at the moment. But yeah, she's going to walk away from Kinsey and, lead Julius away.
Okay. So you managed to get Julius down the stairs, and he's looking pretty rough.
She's giving him 2 potions of healing. I only have regular one.
Yeah, so he's going to regain 14 HP.
Okay, give him 1 more.
All right. He regains another 7. So that's
Okay.
21.
And she hugs him.
he kind of winces in, like, he seems like appreciative, but he is like,
Yeah, that's fair.
there was like lightning that just hit him in the like mouth and stuff.
She does it very gentle, but yeah.
So as you're like limping, being like limped downstairs, y'all, like the commotion has sort of begun to draw some notice, and you hear boot steps coming up the stairs, Reagan, towards you. Julius sort of winces, and then like his eyes kind of roll back for a moment, and then you hear and then he says, "He's out. We need to." He sort of tries to turn around.
Darmio's out. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's dash, I guess. I'm trying to get somewhere where Darmio wouldn't be able to see us.
So you've been moving. If you've been moving down the stairs, you've had more than enough. Like he was on the 4th floor. You're on like the 2nd floor by now, even with helping Julius walk. And you hear like the boots are coming towards you at this point, like from downstairs. What are you doing, Reagan?
Just gonna keep going down.
Okay. You see what looks to be around 10 guards dressed in the livery of the Von Tepplers, who are just tearing up the stairs. They see you, and you see the one who looks to be like the leader.
The one in the fanciest hat.
Yeah, Big Hat Man. We call him Big Hat where I come from.
Oh, also, can I take a potion of healing while we were standing there just now?
Yeah, that's fine. Or he sort of nods at like the front two, and they are moving towards you. And then there is a moment of uncertainty, and then they move past you.
Okay.
As they go, you see coming up behind them is the familiar form of Dreadbane. He kind of looks over you. He sees like Julius just bloody and like kind of still smoking a bit, and you having taken some pretty rough hits.
More than half of my HP by far. Yes.
Yeah, and he kind of he sort of like slows for half a second, and he says, "You good? You good? Are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm okay right now. Yeah.
He turns and just starts going up the stairs.
We keep going down.
Reagan, as you're going down, you just hear in the back of your head,
"So, you left them to die, huh? Funny that."
You didn't leave me any choice.
There's always a choice, Reagan.
No, there's really not when you threaten my family. And then she's going to ignore him. He can keep talking.
He's gonna say one last thing. They're kind of quiet a moment, and then they say,
"Well, kiddo, I guess I'd hoped for more from you. That's okay. The old bull, well, maybe it's good he's not around to see this."
She's just gonna keep walking.
Okay. So at this point, like, there's like a lot of kind of commotion going on around the around sort of the entranceways.
Rufus around anywhere?
You don't see Rufus.
Okay, that's fine.
You are going down. There's sort of like a lot of people. You can sort of hear like the chattering of people talking downstairs, and you see as you're going, there is a sort of familiar face. You see Ethel is sort of standing there at like the top of the first flight of stairs, and she says, "Oh, dearies, look at you. Looks as though you've had quite the predicament, hmm?"
Yeah, something like that.
She sort of just like kind of clucks her tongue a bit, and she just goes and she says, "Well, we can't have all of them seeing you like this, so..." And she is going to cast invisibility on you and Julius.
Thanks.
And she says, "Of course, dearie. After all, we ladies have to stick together."
You seen my date, by the way?
The champion? No, I can't say that I have.
Me neither. Thanks, ma'am. How long is this gonna last me?
Oh, as long as you need it to. Around an hour, or whenever you decide to poof.
Fantastic. Thank you. Watch your back. Not from me, obviously, but just dangerous people about.
She sort of cocks her head a bit, and she says, "Of course, dearie. There always are."
Fair enough. Keep walking, I guess.
Yeah, she's just gonna go back to doing her. Reagan.
That's me.
What are you doing, Reagan?
Is there anywhere I could, like, take a pit stop off to the side with Julius?
Yeah, I think so. Before you get back to the goring table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can talk without breaking invisibility, too.
Cool. Do you want to go back to the table, or do you want me to get you somewhere safe and then try to bring everybody there?
He looks like he's still kind of woozy, he's still kind of out of it, and he says, "I'm not really sure right now, but we just need to get everyone safe.
I know.
We don't know. I was honestly expecting it to be more like a bunch of just children with swords, and they had lightning, and that was not good. I was not a fan of that."
I know. Julius, I owe you one.
No, you don't.
Too bad. I do anyway. Okay, I'm gonna... There's a lot of, like, side rooms you've said that I'm assuming by now Reagan has either been in and out of or noticed at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's side rooms. You're able to find side rooms pretty efficiently.
Okay, I would like to try to find one that only has one entrance or exit and drop Julius off and then try to go get everybody into the... I'm trying to find a panic room or to set up in.
Yeah. Roll a perception check for me.
The table. Well, if I can't find one, she'll bring him to the table. Nope, that's a 5. She doesn't see one.
No, you find one which you think is like pretty guarded. You think
she's gonna kind of steal in there and find somewhere to sit down Julius for a second.
Okay.
He's still looking pretty rough, like not just HP-wise.
Yeah, just kind of like still kind of dazed from the whole situation.
Yeah. She gives him another healing potion. She's gonna take one.
Right. As the two of you kind of share that drink, a drink between friends, he kind of just starts like laughing a bit. He just goes, I don't think I've ever done that before.
Done what?
Try and save someone like that. It feels good.
And Reagan smiles at that and kind of pats him on the invisible shoulder. Trying to... So, can you describe this room that I found?
It's like there's like a small table, 3 chairs around it, a small pitcher of water, that kind of stuff. It's not fancy, but it's a place for people to kind of like take a minute, get a refreshment, a break from the kind of the stress of the masquerade.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any way of locking the door? And did we have to open the door to come in, or was the door standing open?
You have to open the door to come in, and there's not like a lock to the door. Locking doors here would be a sign of a breach of trust, kind of,
Yeah. Hey, Julius, do you know anything that can lock doors?
He goes, like, with a lock?
Yeah, or like with magic or some shit.
He sort of thinks to himself, and he says, I left my book, back home, but I don't think so. Mostly I do, hiding and running, and every now and then getting something away from me.
Yeah, no, hiding is good in this right now. Stay invisible. I need to go get our people and bring them here.
He nods. He says, just make sure Ellie and my sister are all right.
I will. How far was this room from the goring table, by the way?
Around 120 feet.
120 feet, okay. So it would take at least a minute.
You would guess a minute.
Yeah, about a minute at top speed. And Julius is... If I brought Julius with me, would that slow us down?
Yeah, probably. Because, well, like, just in terms of, like, you getting him somewhere. In general, when you're trying to, like, stick close to someone and, like, escort them, just generally, like, you don't have as many chances, as many, like, passages you can move through, just in between people.
She's actually going to take the little bead out of her pocket and kind of hold it up. Do you have anything like this where you could get a message to me if anything happens?
He holds up his bead before you finish talking. He sort of smirks a bit and he says, what's the point of only speaking one way?
I don't know how you magic people work, and she's actually kind of teasing him now. Like,
yeah, he just kind of chuckles at that. Just like a very clear like like Reagan's had these like interactions before of like, hey, we almost just died, but we totally didn't, and that's fucking awesome. Let's goof a bit.
We're best friends. She's also best friends with Nimian still, so don't even start. Julius, I'm going to go, and she's also been saying most of this in hushed tones so they don't fucking blow their cover. Julius, if anything happens in here or you have to move, use the bead, just tell me what's going on and I will find you. I will be gone for like a minute and you have to stay safe or I will be mad at you forever.
He kind of smirks at that a bit and he says,
Reagan, people like us don't really do safe.
Cool. I need you to do safe for about 60 seconds. I promised you I wouldn't die. I need you to promise me you will get through the next 60 goddamn seconds, Julius Goring.
He kind of makes like a show of like thinking about that. Kind of just like,
Well, I suppose if you really need me to.
Yeah, I do. So, and she kind of just pats him very gently on the shoulder and like, okay, I will be back. Hold the fort. And I love you. I'm out. Nope, I'm out. Bye.
Alright. Reagan gets away before any more emotional vulnerability can happen. She's just like, nope, peace, motherfuckers. Reagan, you get over there pretty quickly.
Okay. She is invisible. So she is going to tap Brika on the shoulder first.
Because Monty will scream.
And Brika knows how to keep her cool.
Always with the screaming!
She is going to tap Brika on the shoulder and get as close to Brika's ear as she can and be like, Brika, it's Reagan. I'm invisible. Don't worry about it. I need you to get everyone at the table to come with me.
Tell me something only Reagan would know.
My first name is Charlotte.
Did Reagan ever actually tell her that?
No. Ask Ellie. Julius is in bad shape and we need to go now.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so
Brika's gonna motion everybody else. Like,
Reagan?
Mm-hmm.
You begin to hear a voice, but it's different from message. You got a message a lot. It's almost like you're in the room and you hear Julius say,
I was wondering when you would show up.
And then a low chuckle that says, well, you're on a list, let's just say, Lord Goring.
But he's invisible! Alright, Reagan just going to say to Brika, move now, and Reagan's going to drop her invisibility, and she is going to dash back.
So, you are moving there. This is happening while this is happening, but you keep hearing these voices. As you are going, Reagan, you are hearing,
I don't suppose you do me the honor of giving me your name?
And there's another chuckle, and it says, I don't think you and yours really deserve that. And Julius sort of sighs, and he says,
I suppose so.
You hear this strange little pop, and then you hear Julius say,
take care of them, Reagan.
And then there is another noise. And then, Reagan, you hear, that's one.
If I had known you as a boy, listening to blades of grass wage war in the wind, chasing pale moths that rise like souls out of battle. If I had grown up at your side, losing our shadows in a forest of corn stalks, reaping from the field at the end of each day, a pair of scared crows. If I had shared your stepping stones, would you still have died alone? Would you still have died alone? If we had been children together, if we had grown up side by side, would you still have died so lonely? If I had known you as a boy, souls out of battle, crows from the corn, children together, the day we're reborn, the day we're reborn.